Chapter 128. Stray Cat. Disappearance of the hospital director and patients. An anonymous letter claims that there are bodies left in the hospital. A changing bloody message, moaning from a closed room, who opened the locked doors at midnight? What have they seen to cause them to go crazy in one night? Who is the patient and who is the doctor? Screaming, cutting, sewing, the twisting of human nature, the hospital where the sun will never rise. Liu Dao only glanced at the headlines, but his heart started to race, and his breathing became uneven. Are you sure about this? Before he arrived, he had worried about Chen Ge rejecting him due to salary or location safety, so he had prepared many different proposals. He had come up with many different negotiation tactics, but after talking to Chen Ge, he realized that things were already out of his control from the beginning. The haunted house boss not only did not worry about safety, but also complained about their locations being too fake. He even had selected an abandoned hospital that sounded creepy from the internet searches alone. Is this person insane? Liu Dao grumbled internally as the smile froze on his face. Mr. Chen, the people from our studio might not be brave enough to enter the location that you selected. If you think the script is not suitable, we can still edit it. It's all right. Chen Ge waved him off. Thank you for your understanding. Shall we discuss the script? I don't need people to follow me. I can enter it alone. Have you misunderstood me? Liu Dao was covered in cold sweat. He formed his thoughts clearly before asking, do you really plan to live stream at this type of location alone at midnight? Is there a problem? Liu Dao introduced the items in the suitcase one by one. I suggest you go and familiarize yourself with the equipment as soon as you can. Qin Guang's next live stream has not been announced yet, but it will definitely be within the next 3 days. We will set our live stream at the same time as him, and the result will be fully dependent on this crossfire. After all, this was going to be a battle with the most popular host on the platform, and Liu Dao had no confidence that they would win, so the contract he provided was temporary. It would be void after this first live stream. Avoiding risk was the nature of a business. Chen Ge understood that. After signing the contract, Chen Ge accepted the suitcase from Liu Dao. When I confirm Qin Guang's live stream schedule, I'll contact you. Hopefully you'll be ready then. Liu Dao extended his hand toward Chen Ge. Happy cooperation, and be careful. After sending Liu Dao off, Chen Ge walked to the staff break room with the suitcase before returning to the front door to sell tickets. The sky suddenly started to darken, and at around 2 p.m. it started to rain. The rain chased away the few visitors the park had. Looking at the deserted New Century Park, Chen Ge did not feel so good. The number of visitors who came to the haunted house was slowly increasing, but the overall number of park visitor was dropping. If New Century Park was forced to close, his haunted house would be affected as well. The number of scenarios is not enough to use the haunted house to support the entire haunted house. Currently, New Century Park was still surviving because there was no competition in Zhujiang, but after the new park was built, the visitors would abandon New Century Park. Looking at Chen Ge, Liu Dao felt like the proposals that he had spent days and nights preparing had all gone to waste. No, of course not. Please take a look at the contract. If there's any request, do name them. He pulled out a temporary contract from the suitcase. Chen Ge skimmed through it. The contract was lax. This was their first cooperation, so it was just a trial, testing the waters. Chen Ge needed to promote Liu Dao's studio in his live stream room, and in return, they would fight for more recommendations and exposure from the platform. I've seen all of your live streams. The content is perfect, but the equipment is not that professional. Liu Dao opened the black suitcase again when Chen Ge was reading the contract. He placed it between them. This is the live streaming equipment that we can lend you, namely a GoPro carry-on waterproof camera. It is normally used for shooting extreme sports like air gliding or deep water diving. This beside it is the anti-slip chest bracket camera and arm camera. Then these are wireless earphones. When you're ready for the live stream, we will have professionals help you retransmit the footage, and you can look at the live stream through your own cell phone. Boss, what's on your mind? Xu Wan came out with umbrella and stood beside Chen Ge. Nothing really. Chen Ge turned to look at Xu Wan. Thank you for your work today. You can go home now. I need to go to the workshop to finish off the mannequins anyway. After cleaning the place, Chen Ge locked the haunted house and walked to the mannequin workshop. Before he reached the workshop, Chen Ge could see that Boss Qian was squatting by the roadside talking to the hawker stall cook. "Why are you standing outside?" Boss Qian saw that it was Chen Ge and stood up with some difficulty. "Brother, have you considered the high-end doll offer? I have a feeling you'll lead a revolution in the industry." "Not interested." Chen Ge entered the workshop to focus on his work. "Just think about it. You could be the next king of adult sex dolls." All the mannequins were done by 9:30 p.m. The 24 headless mannequins stood in the workshop, creating a harrowing scene. "They're so realistic. It's like art. I'll leave them for the night and I'll come to take them tomorrow morning." Chen Ge patted Boss Qian on his shoulder. "Watch only from afar, and please don't touch them." After a few more words, Chen Ge left with his umbrella. He came out from the workshop, and the rain was still pouring. "How am I supposed to drag 24 mannequins to the park? I should call Uncle Shu for help tomorrow." He opened the umbrella and walked down the street. The shops on both sides of the road were packing up their stuff. Several shop owners were calling their children home, and they were planning to close already. Chen Ge did not notice it until he passed a small alleyway, and he heard a child crying. He turned to look and saw several young boys tossing rocks and empty bottles toward a specific corner. One of the boys had scratched his finger, and as he cried, he picked up debris from the ground to toss it in the corner. The boss of the lottery ticket shop next door came out to yell, "Jia Ming, Jia Bao, stop playing, it's time to go home." "Dad, little brother was scratched by a stray cat," one of the boys screamed. "Scratched by a cat? Let me see." The man rushed into the alley. After some hesitation, Chen Ge followed. When the man saw the wound on his boy's finger, he hugged the crying boy and kept consoling him. When he saw his father, the boy cried even louder. "Don't cry, Daddy will help you take revenge. Is it this cat that scratched you?" He picked up a nearby brick and tossed it at the poor creature. The brick landed on flesh, and a whimper could be heard. Chen Ge used his calf to block the brick. He stood in the middle of the alley looking at a broken paper box left in the corner. Inside the box was a white cat whose body was covered with bleeding wounds. The cat was fierce, its claws and teeth showing. Even though blood was flowing down its head, it still refused to leave the paper box. "Why won't it run away?" Chen Ge took one step forward and saw that there were 4 kittens inside the box, but all of them were no longer breathing. The chaos created by the boys littered the area around the box. However, inside the paper box was clean. "What's the matter with you?" The man grabbed a broom and pushed Chen Ge aside. "Move it!" His calf was still hurting. When the man pushed him, it felt like something had come over Chen Ge. He grabbed the man's arm and toppled him over. With his hand on the man's head, he pressed his face into the muddy ground. His pupils narrowed to become incredibly scary. It felt like it was a gaze from beyond the grave. Yin-yang vision. The man tried to struggle initially, but when he saw Chen Ge's face, a chill covered his entire body. Even his teeth were chattering. "Chill. We can talk this out." The man tossed the broom aside. With his face pressed into the ground, he said in a shaking voice, "There are surveillance cameras all over the area. A stray cat is not worth it. I'll leave immediately." Chen Ge released his grip on the man as his gaze slowly returned to normal. "Jia Ming, Jai Bao." The man jogged off in a hurry, and the boys quickly followed after him. Peace returned to the back alley. Chen Ge glanced at the broken paper box in the corner. He was about to walk closer when the injured white car arced its body and lowered its ears. Its eyes narrowed into slits, as if it was about to attack. It was afraid and cautious of any living humans. Chen Ge slowly bent down. He did not do anything that might make the cat feel threatened. Instead, he opened the umbrella and placed it over the paper box. Chapter 129. The Cat That Can See Them. Dark clouds hung low in the sky, and the rain drenched Chen Ge's jacket. He squatted before the cat, his mind a mess. Earlier, he had seen fear on the man's face. Normally, shouldn't the party with the weapon have resisted instead of surrendering so easily? There was such a change to the boss's attitude, and this made Chen Ge wonder, what had he seen? When I gripped him earlier, There was a chill radiating from the eye. That should be the yin-yang vision in effect. The description the black phone provided on the yin-yang vision was very vague, and Zhang Ya had even blown half of the mirror monster's body into his eyes. Yin-yang vision seemed to have evolved, but what was the effect of the evolution? Chen Ge could not really tell for sure. I acted almost instinctually earlier. It's probably caused by the pent-up stress from all the things that have happened recently. Ever since obtaining the black phone, Chen Ge had not had a good rest. He spent his days either completing daily missions or the more dangerous trial missions. However, they came with rewards. At least, number of visitors and reviews for the haunted house had increased. After staying for a while longer in the alley, Chen Ge realized the white cat still refused to let him get near. He did not force it. He found a nearby spot to hide from the rain and planned to leave after the rain receded. He waited for 10 minutes, but the rain still showed no sign of slowing down. Chen Ge used the flashlight in his phone to shine at the corner. In the darkened alley, the ground had started to get flooded. The paper box was soaked, and a huge hole was forming at the bottom. Chen Ge walked forward to take a look. The injured white cat could not hold on any longer. It was already lying down alongside the 4 kittens whose bodies had already gone cold. I can't just leave it to die, can I? Chen Ge removed his jacket to wrap it around the cats and ran to catch a cab to rush to the nearest pet store. 10 minutes later, Chen Ge arrived at his destination, and a girl in uniform was locking up the place. Wait a minute! Chen Ge did not even open his umbrella and rushed directly toward the girl. I'm sorry, but we're closed. Come back tomorrow. The woman saw Chen Ge, and she took an involuntary step back to maintain a safe distance. This cat won't be able to wait until tomorrow. Money is not a problem. Please save it. The rain had soaked Chen Ge's clothes, and he looked rather worse for wear. The woman looked at Chen Ge's arms. The white cat was covered with mud and a long wound ran down its face. A stray cat? Yes. Stray cats are naturally wild and will often lash out at humans. It seems like these injuries were human-made, probably because it had hurt someone. Are you sure you want to save it? Yes, Chen Ge confirmed. A few boys probably killed the kittens, and the cat kept its vigil beside the kittens despite the barrage of broken bottles and bricks. It was horrible. If you insist on saving it, come in. The woman unlocked the door and accepted the jacket from Chen Ge. The 4 kittens cannot be saved, but if you want to keep this cat, I suggest you bury the kittens beside your house. Okay. Chen Ge glanced at the woman's name tag. She was the owner of the pet store. Her name was Zhao Wen. She started nursing the white cat's wound after they entered the store. Chen Ge sat in the store, staring at the cats and dogs in the cages. Weirdly enough, after Chen Ge entered the pet store, all the animals became curiously quiet. Is it something on me? Or is it because of Zhang Ya? Chen Ge wandered to a nearby cage. The cat inside it was huddled in the corner, curled up in a ball. With this comparison, Chen Ge was even more impressed by the white cat. When he first approached the white cat, it did not show fear, but gnashed its teeth, looking like it was trying to fight to the death with Chen Ge. This stray cat might bring me some surprises. The young man in Hai Ming Apartments room 302 had told Chen Ge that the weakness of the mirror monster was cats, so this was one of the reasons Chen Ge had decided to keep the white cat. Zhao Wen came out hugging the white cat when it was around 11 p.m. She also held a small basket in her hands. Inside it lay the 4 kittens. I'm quite surprised at how pretty the cat is. Unfortunately, the gash on its face cannot be removed, or it would be prettier. Chen Ge could not even recognize the snow-white cat Zhao Wen was holding. Its fur was soft and luscious. However, the key feature of the cat was its eyes, red and blue. Why would the original owner abandon such a pretty cat? Chen Ge thought the cat was pretty as well. I'm not trying to scare you, but it is not a good practice to adopt stray cats, especially one like this who looks like it came from a good line and background. The original owner abandoned it probably because of some taboo or something bad that happened. Zhao Wen passed the cat to Chen Ge. In any case, now that you're its owner, you have to be responsible. There are plenty of small wounds on its body. Remember to check them daily for infections. After paying, Chen Ge returned to New Century Park with the cat and kittens. This will be your home in the future. Chen Ge only opened the gate when the originally sedated suddenly perked its ears up. Such a reaction before even entering the haunted house. This cat might really be useful to me. Chen Ge placed the white cat at the door and walked into the haunted house with the basket of kittens. The cat howled for a long time before following unwillingly. Chen Ge wanted to give this cat a try, so he led it around several scenarios. The white cat acted normally inside the Minghun, Murder by Midnight, and Night of the Living Dead scenarios. However, when Chen Ge pulled the wooden boards back to enter the Muyang High School scenario, the fur on the white cat stood on end as it jumped on the steps leading downwards to block Chen Ge. Muyang High School's mission hasn't been completed yet. It might still hide more secrets. Chen Ge had no idea what the white cat had sensed, but the fact that it had blocked him meant that Chen Ge was not wrong to have saved it. Closing the board, Chen Ge went over to hug the cat, but the cat jumped away. It seemed to despise human contact. Carrying the basket, Chen Ge returned to the staff break room, and the white cat followed. It was not until Chen Ge closed the door that it calmed down. The white cat jumped onto the chair and spotted Xiao, who was hiding underneath the table. Such a mischievous thing, you... Chen Ge pulled Xiao out from underneath the table. He waved Xiao before the cat, saying, "This is our friend, so don't hurt her." The white cat did not react in any way. Perhaps it was because the enemy was too weak, so it was not even interested. At the very least, Xiao is a baleful specter. But she was ignored so completely by the cat. Chen Ge rubbed Xiaoxiao's head, feeling weirdly sorry for her.